So welcome back to my channel. This is Dom and a sort of unboxing review type of thing. So Ian at Flags of War reached out on its Facebook page for people who wanted to review some of his upcoming figures, and I'm never going to say no to having a look at some of these figures, because some of them I've seen some of the tasters of them, or at least some of the pictures of them, they looked absolutely awesome. And packet arrived today with some early examples, so I thought I would show you what they look like. So a nice letter from Ian at Flags of War talking about it. So there's two basic ranges that he's working on at the moment. Well, there's two ranges that he's working on at the moment. A War of the Austrian Succession, which I have to confess is a period I don't know an awful lot about, but lots of frills, lots of interesting uniforms, so you know, and I don't think it's terribly well served at 28mm. And he says in his letter here, this range will go to Kickstarter this month, so March, with the aim to deliver in April. It will form the start of us moving into the War of Austrian Succession, but also will provide support to our 1745 Jacobite Rebellion range. The Kickstarter will deliver 5 packs with 4 miniatures in each pack. The packs are British marching, which includes Command, Hatman and Grenadiers. The Dutch will have a command and infantry, and will also be supporting the range with loads of flags. Well, you'd expect that with Flags of War, wouldn't you? Our 1745 Jacobite range already provides a lot of British for the period. Infantry, dragoons, artillery and Highlanders for the Black Watch. Our French are perfect for both the French and the Irish regiments. These British and Dutch are just the start, and work has already started on the next batch, with us having released the Garde Français, Hanover troops, French cavalry, French artillery and skirmishers like the arquebusiers de Grassin, sorry. So that's exciting. And the one that really got me very excited before, when I saw some of the early pictures, and I probably will be buying into, unless these look absolutely terrible, which I doubt it, is the Border Wars. So the other one he's looking at is the Border Reivers figures are being released by another Kickstarter that hopes to have around April-May, once the War of Austrian Succession range has been delivered. The first phase of the figures will see the starter set of 5 mounted, 8-foot and 5 characters along with animals. The game will be focused on small-scale skirmish actions where looting and stealing of livestock will be the main objectives, but being Reivers, killing and vengeance will come high on their priorities. Our sculptors have already completed the 3rd sculpts for the next phase that will come after the delivery of Kickstarter. The next one will be a campaign book and a number of new character figures and a new Irish faction. So that sounds very, very interesting. I like me a bit of a skirmish game from time to time. So really interested to see these. So as I say, obviously full disclaimer, I didn't pay for these figures. They came, Ian sent them out free of charge, and but I will give you my honest opinion. So lovely image on this postcard of a border, well, a Highland warrior. Nice, love the dirk down the back of the shield, and a sticker. I'll have to put that up in the boot room here somewhere, and a little card. So let's take a look at the first ones. This is the War of the Austrian Successions. So you'll forgive me. Oh, rather, I was going to say you'll forgive me because I don't really know what they are, but he's written on the back Dutch. So I think I know they're Dutch then. So let's just pop these out. That looks a really nice looking figure. Very nice indeed. Good detail. Nicely moulded. There's a bit of flash in the middle there. but actually pretty clean. And that looks like he will be the standard bearer. I like the fact they've got the sword through the coats. Nice. And the drummer. Good little figure, that. Really nice little figures. So that is them. Let me have a look at the other ones that came in this pack. So these are the War of Austrian Succession British troops. So there's, as I said, there'll be 5 packs with 4 miniatures in each. This looks like a grenadier. I know enough about the period that I think that's a grenadier. Nice detail. And a regular infantryman by the look of it. And a standard bearer. I like the way his hat is sort of almost at the cock. So there you go. Very nice looking figures. That is the Austrian Succession figures. I won't confuse them because otherwise I'll get confused, because as I say, I don't know enough about the period really to be confident of identifying them. I'll pop that there for a minute. I'll just put these away. And so these are the Reivers, which I have to say, as I mentioned earlier, I was excited about these even before he sent these to me. So this is Reiver foot. Oops, nearly chucked a spear down my trousers. Down my trousers. So we have here. Ah, look at this dude. I mean, look at that. That is something. He's got a blunt. Oh, I suppose it's like a shotgunny type thing is in his hand. Hand on hilt, foot on the rock or something. Lovely. He's got a cuirass, a sort of Spanish style helmet. Yeah, really nice. Like that a lot. Another armoured man. Just about to swack somebody over the head with his sword. Again, lovely figure. These probably would fit in other armies of that period. I mean, you could potentially push them into the English Civil War, maybe. Maybe that's pushing it a bit, but oh, there's an unmistakable Reiver type period standard bearer. It's got that ornate jacket on, floppy hat. He'll be holding the standard. Oops, can't hold it. There we go. So the flagpole will go in there. Looks a lovely looking figure. All 3 of those look really, really good. Very impressed with them. There's a shield, very ornate shield. I wonder who he goes with. I'm going to guess with this guy. So that's that lot. Lovely. And this final figure that is in the Reiver selection is a horseman. So rather nice looking horse. Little bit angular in the head, shall we say? A little bit, but I imagine that'll paint up really nicely. Need to do a bit of drilling out of the reins. Are a solid piece there, which is a little bit annoying. I wonder if they'll be able to chip them away and just leave without damaging the horse. But nice. But the rider looks excellent. Look at him. Really nice. Again, very ornate cuirass on him. And it came with a spear and a shield. So, yeah, like him a lot. Like him an awful lot. That's his shield, same as the other the foot soldier's shield. So, yeah, that's gonna come out really nicely, I think. So my only slight hesitation is the horse. Just looks a little bit clunky, but I think it'll work. So, very impressed so far. Thank you, Ian, for sending these over. I'm going to have a go at painting them up. So, I'll be back when I've undercoated them, probably put some highlighter on them just to make them stand out, and have a crack at painting them up. So, back in a moment for you, probably a day or two for me. So I have undercoated, well, obviously glued the figures together, undercoated them, and also what I've increasingly started to do with these very detailed figures is putting a wash straight over the figure. And what I might try with these, which somebody told me they do, which I thought was quite cool, is then dry brush it with a white colour, just to really sort of emphasise and almost like a zenithal highlighting. But anyway, the wash brings out the detail on this beautiful Reiver. I mean, just impressive. And maybe I was a bit harsh on this horse, because actually he's in perfect proportion. So the only thing, I had a bit of fun drilling out the rain gap there. You can see I missed. The drill bit bounced. So I'm going to plug that little hole with some green stuff. But other than that, it's a lovely, lovely model. There's the other guy with his pistol. Just love the way these figures look. I'm going to really enjoy painting them, and that says a lot for me to say, because I'm not really a painter. This guy with his target shield, I think that's what they called them. Again, wonderful figure. And well, I think this is a standard bearer. He's going to be a standard bearer in my force. Lovely. Actually. There we go, better. Yeah. And this guy. Oh, come on, there we go. Standard bearer. Lovely figures. Really, really impressed with these fellas. Really good indeed. And let's look at the Austrian Succession figures. This is the Dutch infantryman. Period I know very little about. But lovely detail on the model. This guy is obviously the standard bearer. See where the pole would go down. Lovely face on him. Really nice. Really nice. And the drummer. Again, very nice figure. And the English, or the Brits, I suppose. Very nice. There's a lot of lace work on the front of that uniform, and it's all there to be picked out. Very nice. Standard bearer, the British force. He looks like he's had a few hot dinners. And the grenadier in his mitre. Detail is superb. Really, really good indeed. Very impressed with these models. So I'm just going to have to paint them up next. So back in a bit. So here we go. These are the Austrian Succession Wars British figures painted up. Now, I don't know much about this period, so a bit of Googling gave me some ideas on uniforms and what have you, so forgive me if they're not quite right, but
Yeah, I actually surprised myself by how much fun I enjoyed doing these. They're very, very detailed, really nice sculpts, very little flash on them, and I think the effect is quite good. Quite happy with how they've come out. So obviously the standard bearer on the left, the grenadier in the middle with his mitre, and the regular rifleman or musketman on the right, fusilier, I guess, on the right-hand side at the moment, although soon to change. But yeah, very, very pleased with how these have come out, and I think the models are extremely good. So not my period, and for a minute or two I did think about whether this would be fun to buy into this Kickstarter, because I believe the Kickstarter goes live this coming Friday for these Austrian War of Succession figures. So check it out. Check out Flags of War's Kickstarter for Friday if you are interested. And these ones are the Dutch figures. As far as I could see, they were painted. They had blue uniforms, blue and white uniforms. So that's what I've gone with. Again, caveat: I don't know much about this period, so if I've got the colourings wrong, don't shoot me. But again, really nice figures, beautiful detail. Quite like the facial expressions. This time we've got a regular fusilier, the drummer in the middle, and the standard bearer on the right as it comes round. Yeah, not much more to say. Really, really good little figures. Really enjoyed doing them. And next up, the Reivers. So these will be in another Kickstarter. No specific date yet, but looks like March, April time frame. And from what Ian says in his letter, these will come. Basically, there'll be the figures plus some rule set to simulate the border wars that went on between the various families and lords that operated in the border regions of 16th century Scotland and England. And yeah, if these figures are anything to go by, it's going to be an absolutely sensational range. This is obviously the Mountain Man. I absolutely loved him. I thought first, as I said, the horse may be a bit too cartoony, but not a bit of it. It came out beautifully. Really pleased. I think the effect is pretty good. And even with my modest painting skills, that's come out really nicely indeed. Next up, this is the guy with the blunderbuss, large pistol, shotgun-y type thing, standing on a stone with his left hand on the hilt of his blade, wearing very, very typical armour of that period, very almost Spanishy feel to it. Martin's seventh son took the piss out of me because he said, "Have you got to think about yellow at the moment?" And yeah, I realised two of the four Reaver figures I did with yellow. I don't know why. Maybe it was subconsciously a Ukrainian thing, yellow and blue. I don't know. But I've just done him up as he is. As I'm reading about now, because of Ian, I'm reading about the Reaver period. So I'd probably find out that the colours are completely wrong. But just on the principle of through this sort of period generally, colour was good, brightness. They went for very colourful clothing to show wealth. Didn't mean it was always terribly clean, but that's the approach I've taken. Again, lovely figure. Really, really enjoyed painting these, and I'm Ian. When your Kickstarter goes live for this, you can guarantee that I will be in on it. Then we've got the standard bearer. I think it's supposed to be standard bearer with this beautiful sort of quilted effect on his armour. And you know, just a couple of washes, a bit of dry brush, and a couple of layers of colours, and it just pops beautifully. Really enjoyed doing this guy. He's got his very balloony trousers on. They all got leather boots on, which is kind of fun, and makes it interesting to paint. And yeah, his rather large spear in his right hand. Lovely figure, really enjoyed it. And finally, for the Reivers that I painted up, here's the other guy. Yep, he's in yellow as well. I did tell you two of the four. For some reason I painted in yellow. This guy's... I wasn't sure who was supposed to have the shield. I looked at some of the pictures subsequently online, and some people had given it to the guy with the standard. For me, he's with this bloke. The shield's with this guy, because I just think he looks like a grizzled veteran of the border conflict. Again, wearing that very instantly recognisable armour style, with his ornate sword with a good finger guard or hand guard over it. Really nice figure. Really enjoyed it. Lots of reallys, but it was really good. And there you go. That's all the Kickstarter figures that I was sent by Ian, all painted up, and I thoroughly enjoyed doing them. I think they were something a bit different for me. Well, I guess the Reivers were a little bit closer to some of the stuff I've been doing with Landsknechts. But I've never done any of the Austrian Successor figures, and this was a great place to start. They are lovely, lovely models, one and all. Thoroughly recommend you keep an eye out for the Kickstarter if these periods are your thing, or if you think they might become your thing. Thank you again to Ian for sending them out to me. Really appreciate it. And I'm going to be looking out myself for the Reivers Kickstarter March, April time. Reminder, if you're interested in the Wars of the Austrian Successor, or Succession, the Kickstarter for that goes live on Friday. So check out Flags of War, or also for the Reivers, check out, I think it's called Border Wars Facebook page that Ian runs, which again gives lots of information about what's upcoming with that Kickstarter. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like, share, subscribe, do all that wonderful stuff, and let me know what you think. You tempted by any of these? You suddenly got a hankering to do the War of the Austrian Succession, or the Reivers? Are they your thing? Reivers, they're going to be great. Anyway, stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you again soon. This is Dom, signing out.